Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Flight Podcast. My name is Jacob Shanker.
And I'm Andrew Thomas.
Shut up and sit down.
All right, Mr. Shanker.
Yeah, and your white sweater.
Why, thank you. Thank you.
Looking
I've gotten a lot of compliments about this sweater. Very cozy, very comfy.
very dapper.
And it's just, it's my favorite sweater. Makes me feel very homely. And it makes me feel at home, you know?
Well, you are at home, so you should
Yeah.
feel at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, so why don't we get right
let's just dive right into it. Yeah.
Because I know
this is an interesting episode, and I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, some of these things I know that we're going to be arguing about. So why don't you say, so for this episode, we're going to be talking about our top 10 NBA players of all time. We're going to refrain from talking about our 1 and 2s the most.
Yep.
Obviously, we'll talk about it a bit, but it's mostly what we're going to talk about mostly is the rest of that list from 3 to 10.
Yep.
So talking about that. So Andrew, why don't you tell us your full list?
All right. So I'm going to do this from 10 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Number 10 is Bill Russell. Number 9 is Kobe. Number 8 is Tim Duncan, the big fundamental.
Yep.
Number 7, the big diesel Shaq.
Mm-hmm.
And now that I'm looking at this list, it was really hard for me to decide whether I wanted to pick Larry or Shaq for number 6, but I put Larry because Larry had more MVPs. He had more MVPs. Even though Shaq was snubbed, he was also MVP when Magic was in the league, and that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll keep talking about that. Number 5 is Wilt. Number 4 is Magic. Number 3 is Kareem. Number 2 is LeBron. And number 1 is Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
You want to read off your list?
Yeah, I'll go off mine, but pretty much it's similar. There's obviously some changes, but it's similar. For my number 10, I actually got Hakeem Olajuwon. 9 Kobe, 8 Tim Duncan, 7 Wilt Chamberlain, 6 Shaq, 5 Larry Bird, 4 Magic Johnson, 3 Kareem, 2 MJ, 1 LeBron. Andrew changed my thing over here, so it made me look like it was MJ number 1, LeBron number 2. Very funny, Andrew. Very funny.
We got you every time.
Very nice. No, it's LeBron number 1.
Yeah.
So why don't for this, like the first thing that kind of like striking is our number 10s are different, right? You got Bill Russell, I got Hakeem.
Yep.
You even said today, we were talking about this today. What happened? You said that Hakeem has to be in top 10. What changed?
I changed my mind. It doesn't have to be in top 10. I never said anything.
Okay, but what changed your mind? Why do you have Bill Russell there?
11 rings.
Okay.
11 rings. Who has 11 rings? Nobody.
How many Finals MVP does he have?
They didn't have the Finals MVP.
He's 0.
They didn't have the Finals MVP award. They didn't have the award back then.
Yeah, but the thing that also gave him those rings is the team. Who was on that team?
You know what? I think you are so ungrateful for the greatness of Bill Russell. You are so ungrateful. I got Bill Russell. Sorry.
No. Don't think it was a huge thing. Bill Russell I have at 11, and it was the closest thing. But I think that Hakeem Olajuwon is better for the fact that his 90s run and his carrying and the impact he had is unbelievable.
Okay.
Okay.
So you're telling me that because Bill Russell doesn't have the impact, even though he was able to stop Wilt Chamberlain for about 10-year span? Chamberlain
did have a great impact as well, but Hakeem's was just better because Bill Russell, the other thing, is he had a team. Hakeem had nobody.
Okay.
And then he went back-to-back rings.
Come back when Hakeem has 11 rings.
Well, he's retired, and he's old, so.
Come back when he has 11 rings. Maybe 11 wedding rings. I don't know how Hakeem's doing on that part of life. But
Hakeem Olajuwon is, I think, in my opinion, the best defender in the league, and of all time.
Okay.
Right. So, I mean, obviously, Bill Russell was a phenomenal defender, and obviously, he was a winner. He's probably the best winner in NBA history, obviously, because
one of the best winners of all time.
Yeah, but overall, as a player.
All right. but in in some in some people's opinions and what people have been saying, Bill Russell is a ridiculously good defender, and he's also one of the best defenders of all time. And I get that you're saying Hakeem is the best. I don't think Hakeem's the best because he wasn't a good perimeter defender because he's too big. He's
He was,
good,
for his size and for everything he was a good perimeter defender.
okay, but like that's for his size. Like he's not phenomenal compared to everyone else, like the
Well,
Glove or
obviously.
Michael Jordan.
Well, obviously, but they're not great in the post. That's just how they are.
Are you kidding me? Michael Jordan averaged like .8 blocks, and
Yeah,
Michael
but he's
Jordan
not.
averaged
He was
over a
not.
block in a season.
But he's not Hakeem level. Just like Hakeem was not MJ or Gary Payton level in terms of perimeter defense. Yes.
Whatever. Bill Russell, phenomenal defender, and he could have averaged 5 blocks a game in some articles that I'm reading about that he would have averaged 5 blocks a game for his career, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
And obviously you can say that the skill level back then wasn't as good, but like it's still the NBA and you have to be good to get in there. And he was phenomenal. Not to mention, Bill Russell was 6'10". He wasn't like 7'3" or anything like that. He was 6'10" and he was averaging
Hakeem, actually. That I don't know. Do you know?
what?
How tall was Hakeem?
Hakeem was 7 foot.
Okay. Got you. I mean, yeah, no, I think Bill Russell is probably a top 5 or even top 3 defender, in my opinion, of all time. I think obviously the biggest reason why I think Hakeem is better is just like you said, the skill set of the average NBA player now. The NBA players now are obviously much better than they were in the time of Bill Russell. Not discrediting that he's not that he's like a bad defender. He's a great defender. But I mean, it's just in a different era, so it's obviously different, and it's the beginning of what basketball was. So
There's no defense being played today.
I'm not talking about today. I'm saying in Hakeem's era.
Oh, but like Bill Russell also played. Well, like you know what? You can counter argue saying I'm going to counter argue my argument because I realized I was wrong. There were also only 9 teams that played in the NBA back then. It's not 30 like there were with
Yeah.
Hakeem. So skill set actually was pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, it was hard both times, but I think now, I mean, if you're going to look at the average NBA player at the time when Bill Russell was playing and compare him to the average NBA player in, let's say, the 90s, obviously the 90s are going to be better.
Yep, and you know what? Okay, you can agree about that, but like 11 rings, you can't argue against 11 rings when you only have 2.
Well, yeah, obviously, but you also
And after all those years, he got stopped by MJ.
But here's the thing.
That's also another reason why MJ is number 1 because he beat Hakeem that many times.
Are you finished with going on being MJ's on MJ being your father?
Well, LeBron's your poppy, so
That's right. That's right. No, but Bill Russell. If we're gonna talk about it, you had Wilt Chamberlain at your 5. Yet he has also less rings than Bill
that's
Russell.
because but he averaged
No, I
50
have him
points
higher also, but yeah,
in a season.
yeah. But I'm saying that even though rings obviously do matter.
Yeah, they do. That's
Yeah.
also why. That's also why
Here's the
Magic's
thing.
number
We're
4.
talking-
If Magic didn't win any rings, he'd probably be lower. Kobe won 5 rings and he's number 9, but Bill Russell won 11.
But here's
and
the
he's number
thing.
10.
In terms of rings, obviously they matter, right? They matter greatly, but winning
People
rings.
don't play basketball. People don't play basketball to get points on the board.
Let me finish. It's a team sport, right? And we're talking about the individual player, not the team. If we're talking about team, then sure, you can talk about all those great Celtics teams. Talk about the 96 Bulls. You could talk about the 2000 Lakers. I mean, there's so many teams you could talk about in terms of rings, but we're talking about how that player was able to play in the course of their career, how they were able to play in their peak, and how they changed the NBA.
Yeah, but like
And
Bill
in the
Russell
peak,
averaged.
But here's the thing with Bill Russell, he had a ton of Hall of Fame players around him on his team.
Okay, but you're also forgetting about the fact Bill Russell averaged 22 rebounds for his career. So I get that you're saying it's statistics, but he was also a better passer than Hakeem, and he was a better rebounder than Hakeem.
He was a better rebounder, but he was not a better passer.
Yeah, he was. Bill Russell averages 4 assists. Let's see how many Hakeem averages. Hakeem probably averages.
At his peak, at Bill Russell's peak.
It doesn't matter.
Or-
Hakeem had at most has 3.6 assists. Bill Russell had more
Talking
than
about in
5.
the season or in the entire career?
Yeah, and in the entire career, Hakeem averaged 2.5. Bill Russell's 4.3. That's 2 assists difference. He's a better passer.
But you're also, if you were going to talk about it and make it fair, right? We're talking about the per 100 possessions, because you also have to take into account what that is, that Bill Russell had a lot more minutes than Hakeem, right?
That's because he was durable.
No, it's just because nobody.
You cannot change that. That only adds to Bill Russell's greatness that he played for so long. That only adds to his greatness. You know how hard it is to play for that long?
Yeah, but that doesn't take into a fact. That's not going to put into a factor that he played 48 minutes. Number one, should we put Wilt at number one because he played 48 minutes each game for like a season?
No, but you're not getting it. You're not getting it. It's because it adds to his greatness. It adds to it.
Why does it add to it?
Because it's absolutely ridiculous to play for more than 40 minutes in an NBA game.
Well, obviously,
on a
yeah,
regular basis.
but that's just okay. He's got a lot of stamina.
Yeah, that adds to his greatness. Like,
Okay.
wow, he played 40 minutes a game. That's incredible.
All right, but
How many did Hakeem average? How many did Hakeem average? Be honest.
I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know.
Okay.
If I had to make
It's
it bet,
definitely less than that. Let's
30.
take a look.
Nice.
35, 36. That's pretty good. But he did not average 42 for his career.
You don't see any player, not even in Hakeem's era, in the era now, you don't see any player playing 42 minutes a game.
Okay.
It's just how the NBA has changing, and it's how coaching and everything is changing to allow other players to play, I guess. Because things are obviously changing. You will probably never see the Bill Russell and Wilt play the over 40 minutes.
That's because they were so good. They were literally so dominant. And may I also mention the lowest total rebounding season Bill Russell ever had was 18.6. The highest Hakeem ever had was 14.
I said that Bill Russell was a better rebounder than Hakeem.
Okay, but I'm just telling you that also separates it. All right, but I'm just gonna wrap that up very quickly. I think Bill Russell's better. You think Hakeem's better. The stats show it.
Well, wait, I just have to ask you one thing. Do you have Hakeem at like 11?
I don't know. He's pretty close. He's not better than Russell. And I can make the same exact argument that you make for LeBron that Bill Russell's a better all-around player because he does everything better besides scoring. And you think he's a better defender, even though I think Bill Russell's a better defender.
Okay. I still think Hakeem's better.
All
But
right.
why don't we go on to something which, I mean, I was very iffy about. This is not something that I'm concrete about. I was more concrete about Hakeem, but for this, you had Wilt being better than Shaq. You had Wilt at number 5 and Shaq at number 7, and I had Wilt at 7 and Shaq at 6. So they're both very close for me. So what? Why do you have Wilt better than Shaq?
Why do I have Wilt better than Shaq? He averaged 50 in a season. Wilt is the greatest athlete in NBA history, in my opinion.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Shaq was a freak of nature, but Wilt's peak was ridiculous. And did you know that NBA teams wanted Wilt when he was 50?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, that's quite ridiculous. And Wilt Chamberlain is the greatest rebounder of all time, by far.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Bill Russell has more than him, which I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Uh,
No, Wilt averages more. Not only that, but Wilt led the league most years. He led the league besides his injury year on the Lakers and the other years when Bill Russell had 25 rebounds a game. Wilt had 27 rebounds his rookie year. Wilt was 23. He averaged 23. 37.6 points, 2 assists, 27 rebounds, and he was just absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention his field goal percentage went up as he got older. That's how good he was.
I mean, it happens to a lot of players when their field goal percentage goes up, but yeah.
And Wilt also voluntarily gave up his status as the best player, Not only that, he averaged 46 minutes a game for his career. That is ridiculous.
You're just in love with the amount of minutes that a player can play.
It's just ridiculous.
No, I'm kidding.
You know how hard that
No,
is?
no. I'm kidding. I know it is.
Okay, good.
I'm kidding.
And not only that, Wilt is a better free throw shooter.
Well, yeah, anybody's a better free throw shooter than Shaq.
Yeah,
you see
but
the
Wilt
thing
was
where-
still pretty bad. Wilt was bad.
There was a thing where Shaq posted a photo of his yacht, and he was like, and he posted it on Twitter, and he was like, "Help me like give it a name." And someone said, "Name it free throw so it won't sink." He's not wrong.
No, he's not.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah. Honestly, I could go back and forth between Wilt and Shaq. If you told me that Wilt was better than Shaq, I would agree with you. If you told me that Shaq was better than Wilt,
Yep.
I'd also agree with you.
But also just think about this. Wilt is also better at everything. He's a better scorer. He's a better rebounder. He is indeed a better passer. Wilt was just behind Bill Russell for the best defender. And actually, Wilt also made one more defensive team after it was created.
When was it created?
I don't know. Probably somewhere in the late 60s or something like that.
Yeah.
And Wilt also was a center. One more thing.
They're both centers.
He led the league in assists 1 year.
Yeah, I know. That was the year when there was like a bunch of critics going at him because he was they said that he was selfish. And then he started passing more. And then
Proves him wrong.
Yeah.
And he's a phenomenal passer for it. He had 31 triple doubles in a season.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, I could go back and I honestly agree with everything that you said. I mean, well, even though it's the facts, but also the things that you said, how he's one of the best scorers of all time. He's probably top 3 in terms of being the best scorer. He's also one of the best.
He's top 2. He's right there with MJ.
Yeah.
Then Kobe right behind him.
Yeah. He's also, like you said, one of the best rebounders. You could probably say the best rebounder. And I agree. I think a lot of people say that it's like MJ or LeBron is the best athlete, but nobody comes close to what Wilt was.
Wilt was the best athlete. MJ is also there. Shaq was the biggest freak of nature, but MJ and Wilt and LeBron are the best athletes of all time.
Yeah. No, I mean, nobody comes close to those guys.
Yeah.
But in terms of Wilt, yeah, the athleticism that he had is unreal. His dunking ability, his how strong he was insanely fast. I mean,
he could bench over 500, more than 500.
He's in the Volleyball Hall of Fame.
He's also, he is in the Volleyball Hall of Fame, and he also was a track star, and he outran NFL wide receivers and running backs. And he had a rumored 40 time of 4.43. He was 7'1".
And the NBA, I mean, not the NBA, the NFL record right now is 4.22.
Yep, that's for the combine though. That's Bo Jackson was 4.12, I think.
Yeah,
that's pretty damn ridiculous.
That is crazy, and I'm pretty sure he was going to go up against Muhammad Ali. He was going to go up against Muhammad Ali in a boxing match, but Muhammad Ali backed out.
Yep.
Last minute. That would have been. Imagine what would have happened during that game.
Yeah, 2 of the greatest athletes of all time.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think you could probably safely say that Wilt is probably better. I think thinking because I was going back and forth on it. I was never really in on Shaq having it, but I still have him. I'd still would not put him lower than Tim Duncan or Kobe, or I'd still have him in that spot at number 7 or 6 because I feel like that's where he deserves to be.
Yeah. Oh well.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for the most part, for the rest of our list, it's pretty much the same. I mean, Kobe and Tim Duncan, we both agree they're both freaks of nature. I know a lot of people think that Kobe is higher. And I mean, rest in peace.
Solo years.
Yeah, rest in peace. Love Kobe. But I mean, even though he did get snubbed for the MVP, I mean, it's like for a bunch of times.
He also was the MVP snub, though.
He was.
Yeah. Chris Paul should have won it that year.
He should have. They just had to give it to him, or else they were like, fans are going to go crazy if they didn't give it to Kobe.
Yeah, Chris Paul deserves an MVP, though.
Yeah. I mean, but I think Kobe deserves to be at that spot. But why don't we talk about someone that I feel like doesn't get recognized enough for the number 3 spot, Kareem?
Everyone's talking about MJ and LeBron. No one's talking about Kareem.
No, even when
You know, you could actually make the argument that Kareem is better than LeBron. No, I'm just kidding.
what is this? Hakeem is better than Michael Jordan? Just kidding. We know who the real GOAT is. Brian Scalabrine.
Yes.
Wherever you are.
That was so funny. When I saw on social media that he beat that kid in a 1v1, he was talking smack.
Never talk smack against the GOAT.
Never talk smack against the GOAT. Never.
True GOAT. But back to Kareem. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, my dad's favorite basketball player. The only one he really loves. But he was a freak of nature. He completely changed multiple teams, both the Bucks, the Lakers, and he's the best center of all time. I mean, we're talking about Shaq, Bill Russell, Hakeem, Wilt. You put pretty much all of that combined, and if you were to find a player that can do all of that, out comes Kareem. That's literally
Kareem was also a very good athlete.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's literally like if they all had a baby, they would make Kareem.
Yep, that is true. He has an unstoppable shot.
Mm-hmm. The hook shot.
Yep, Kareem was ridiculous.
He absolutely was. Before our 1 and 2, we're not gonna really get into it as much today.
Or else it'll be an hour-long episode, but
will be an hour-long episode. But we will be announcing soon when we will be having our huge debate against these. I know we've been hyping it up a lot for a long time.
About a year almost.
Yeah, almost been a year. So we got to do it soon.
We
will do it soon. It will be probably a 2-episode special, strictly on the LeBron versus MJ. And we'll explain the format and everything how it's going to go. But yeah, I mean, this is our top 10 players of all time. This is our list. And yeah, that's all for today, everyone.
Feel free to comment down below what your thoughts were on our all-time lists.
Tune into the next episode on Friday. See you guys next time.
Peace.